Yo, yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and this subscriber sent a donation, so thanks for your donation. And remember, guys, if you want to guarantee that your question will be answered, make sure you click the link below and send a donation. So this one says, when I was at the gas station today, I approached a woman I thought was hot and asked if I could talk to her, and she simply said no while walking back to her car. After that interaction, I was in the gas lot and saw other people who seen what happened start to smirk and jeer at me and laugh amongst themselves. Literally saw them doing this and also shaking their heads at me. It was like I could feel them saying, "What were you thinking? You should have known your place, and I'll bet you'll never do that again." I felt like a total ass for going up and approaching that woman. So my question is, how can I recover from rejection? Because right after having what happened to me today, I feel sort of shook and unmotivated to approach any woman. All right. So there's a few things going on here, right? Now, the first thing I want to say is this, right? Because you said that I saw this girl, she was hot, and you said that you asked her if you could talk to her, right? You asked her if you could talk to her. And you know, I've talked about this before, but I talked more about, closing the deal when I said, never ask a woman for her number. You understand? You tell her to give you the number. Same thing applies here. You never ask a woman if you can talk to her. You just talk to her. You understand? See, you don't need to ask a woman permission to interact with her. And asking her, right, is not a good thing, because the thing is, by asking, you're putting yourself in a position for her to, see you as a dude who's not really assertive or aggressive or masculine. You understand? You don't ask her anything. You tell her, you instruct her, you just say what you're doing, or you just do what you're going to do, and that's it. So, if you see the chick, you don't ask her like, hey, can I talk to you? No, you just go up and start talking. Hey, what's up? What's going on? Right? And you start to get in a conversation that way. Or even if you wanted to say something to her in the effect of you could see her and be like, yo, come here for a minute. Let me talk to you for a second. Right? So that's different than you asking her. You're basically telling her, hey, come here. I'm going to talk to you for a second. You understand? Now, in all these different situations, she still could say no. You understand? She still could say, nah, I'm good or whatever, and keep it moving. And that's cool. It is what it is, because the thing is, you're not going to get every chick. Every chick's not going to, respond to you in a way where she's going to want to talk to you and all the other good stuff, but it's all good. But the thing is that your chances of actually getting a woman's attention and getting her to actually, to talk to you is, if you basically say to her, hey, look, come here, or you just start talking. Right? So never ask a woman if you can talk to her. Don't do that, because the thing is, a lot of times by you just asking, she's going to see you as a certain type of dude. You understand? See, when you ask her, she thinks, okay, this guy isn't really, on some leadership type of shit. He's not really assertive. He's not, really that masculine. This is what she's thinking on a subconscious level. It's not even like it's happening consciously. It's there if she feels it. You understand? So then a lot of times they just be like, whatever. You understand? So it's a lot of it has to do with how you come at the chick. Because see, this is the thing that dudes don't understand. This is why I always laugh when guys always talk about, oh, it's all about looks and it's looks this and looks that, is that part of a woman being attracted to a guy has to do with how she feels when she's interacting with him. Do you understand that? How she feels. So the feeling is part of the attraction. Just like, like when we see a chick and she's hot, you're like, oh, she's bad, I want to fuck with her. So you're attracted just off the strength of the looks. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is that the chick, it's how she feels. The closest I can get to letting you guys understand it is if I said to you, hey, I got this girl that I know that's feeling you. And then you like, word? So you're the first thing you're gonna say to me is, how does she look? Right? And then so let's say I start describing her. I'm like, yo, mad pretty face, the nice ass, titties is on point, sexy legs, all this other stuff. So as I'm describing her to you, you're probably getting excited, like, yeah, hell yeah, let's make this happen. Like, when am I gonna meet her and all this other stuff? Like, you haven't even seen her yet, but you're getting this feeling of, oh shit, yeah, I'm excited to see this chick, right? So just by me describing her and you knowing she wants to fuck with you, now you ready to go. You're like, yes. You feel what I'm saying? But let's say I described her as a chick, like, yeah, this chick wanna holler at you, and you're like, oh, how she look? Oh, just kind of out of shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that pretty, whatever. You're like, nah, I'm good, right? Because even though you haven't seen her, just me describing you gives you sort of feel like, I don't know, right? So for women, this is how they feel when they're interacting with you. So the way that it's not just about you looking a certain way, right? It's basically the way they feel based off of what you're doing in the situation. So if you approach a girl and you say, hey, miss, is it okay if I talk to you for a second? Now it's like, this guy, he's not assertive. He's not dominant. You understand what I'm saying? And then that turns her off. You see what I mean? So a lot of it has to do with how you approach the girl. You understand? So you're going to get more success when you start just going up and talking, or, you start, just basically like, on some, hey, come here, let me talk to you for a second type shit. If you want to do it in that manner. But you don't ask a woman. You tell her what's going to go down, or you just make shit go down. Right? Now, another thing you could do, and, when I talk about, because, what I'm talking about here a little bit is more in the direct type of way of talking to a girl. You understand? But you can also go indirect and see, going indirect. And this is, I usually tell guys who are first beginning to approach girls and talk to girls, right? I usually tell them, it'll be easier for you to go indirect, because the indirect way a lot of times can sort of save you from rejection to a certain extent. If you do it right. And what I mean by save you from rejection, meaning is that when you go indirect, you're not really, trying to close the deal, or not. It doesn't appear to a certain extent that you're actually getting with her. Right? You haven't literally closed the deal. You're just sort of talking and seeing like where her head is at. You understand? And so, for example, if you go indirect and you're having a conversation about something, you haven't really said anything to her yet as far as like trying to get with her. So therefore, she doesn't really have, anything to reject you on, because you haven't really, said anything to her as far as trying to get with her. But see, when you go indirect, what you're doing is that you are sort of seeing how responsive she is to you, just based off of sort of regular conversation. Then if you see that she's, being responsive in the way where she seems like she's actually interested in talking with you, then that's when you close the deal. You understand? And if she seems like she's not interested in talking to you, then you don't got to bother to close the deal, because you see that she's kind of standoffish and not really interested in talking. Right? So therefore, you're not really getting any rejection, because you're not really putting out any type of thing where you're trying to close the deal. So for example, you might go up to a girl and say, hey, that's a nice bracelet you got. Like, where'd you get that from? My sister's birthday's coming up. I want to get her something like that. You understand? And then, so if she's like, oh yeah, I got this at this store, downtown. They sell a lot of stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then you start, you see that she's kind of cool. She's talking to you, and then you go back and forth. And then that's when you can close the deal. Now, let's say you go up to the girl and you're like, hey, that's a nice bracelet. Would you get that? Blah, blah, blah. And then she's like just looking at you all funny, or she's walking away, or she's like not really trying to talk to you. Then you see, okay, well, fuck it. And then you just keep it moving, right? But there's really no rejection, because you didn't close the deal. You understand? You didn't really say anything, but you saw that just by you having any type of conversation with this chick, she wasn't trying to fuck with you. You see what I mean? And I remember, it was funny. I remember one time, this shit was hilarious. I remember one time I was on a train, and see me, this is the thing with me. I'll see a chick and think she's attractive. And so, if I go indirect, because I go direct, indirect, I have to use either way depending on how I feel or whatever at the moment. So sometimes I go direct, sometimes I go indirect. So I remember one time I saw this chick on the train or whatever. And, I got in the train, I sat down next to her. And I was like, thinking in my head, yeah, she's kind of cute, whatever, right? So she was reading some book, and I just said, yo, what's that book about? Right? And then she looked at me, she said, no. And I was like, so wait, so the book is about no? Like, what do you mean? Like, it's about the word no? I don't understand what you're talking about. And then she's like, no, I'm not going to give you my number. Right? So I was like, wait a second. So I said, what made you think I want to get your number? I don't understand. I'm curious. And then she was like, well, I'm not giving you my number. And I was like, well, don't worry about that. I was like, I don't want your number. I was like, you're not even my type. I'm just asking you what book you're reading. I was like, it looks interesting. Right. So then she's like, what do you mean? What do you mean I'm not your type? And I'm like, well, I was like, I only usually date like really extremely, extremely attractive women. And, you're okay. You're cool, but you're not my type. You understand? So, the thing was, she gave me this look and she just kept reading her book. But the thing was that when she said no to asking her, hey, what's the book about? Or what's this book about? When she first said no, I was done. You feel what I'm saying? Because I knew that this chick was on some goofy shit. Now, I could have turned it around and tried to manipulate the situation even more, because she seemed, when I told her she wasn't my type, then it seemed like she was more interested, because now I disqualified myself as someone who wants to get with her. And that, that's how chick psychology works now. Now that I don't want you, now you want to fuck with me. Like, get the fuck out of here, right? So, but the thing was, me going indirect, I saw her attitude already. And the thing was, I didn't even like close the deal and she's saying no already. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm just being petty, and I'm like, look, man, you're not even my type. Get the fuck out of here, right? But what I'm saying is that sometimes you go indirect, and you could actually, make it happen that way, so you can sort of gauge how this chick is going to react to you, right? Now, the part of your email where you were saying that, people were smirking at you or whatever, and laughing amongst themselves. And you said they were, it was like them saying, what are you thinking? And you should have known your place and all this other stuff. See, that sort of thought process, or you thinking of that, or thinking they're thinking that, a lot of it is really, coming from you and how you view yourself. I mean, the thing is, even if they were laughing at you or smirking at you, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about the fact that you were saying that, you said it was like I could feel them saying, what are you thinking? You should have known your place, right? See, they didn't say that. That's what you assumed they were saying. So it's basically you saying that to you, like, oh, I should have, you know what I mean? So you got to get that out of your head, right? But also, the people smirking or laughing or whatever, if they were doing that, because a lot of times, what happens is that we perceive certain things a certain way. So we might think certain things are a certain way, but it's not really that way. So you might have been feeling embarrassed, and you saw somebody looking at you doing that, or a few people looking at you doing that, and then sort of like laughed at it or whatever, and you made it more of a bigger deal than it is. Now, if they were laughing at it or feeling a certain way about it, it doesn't matter, because you got to understand something. A real player, you understand, a real dude or cats that's really up on game would not laugh at you for approaching a chick. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not going to laugh at you. So if you ever catch a dude laughing or smirking at you trying to holler at a chick, that means that dude don't get no pussy. You understand what I'm saying? Because dudes who actually get it in, they understand, right? They understand that there's going to be rejection. Guys who get girls understand there's rejection. So there's no laughing. The guys who don't understand how to get women, they laugh because they don't understand what the fuck they're seeing. You understand what I'm saying? And they don't even do it themselves, which is why they feel, they're sort of like feeling good that you got rejected because it makes them feel good about their bullshit ass situation. You see what I'm saying? But dudes who really is about the game and about what's popping, they don't laugh at a nigga trying to approach a chick and hollering at a girl. So you ain't got to even think about these cornball ass dudes. You understand? And you ain't even got to think about that chick, right? Because the thing is, her just saying no, then whatever. She just saved you some time. You understand? Like, all right, cool, peace out. You do what you got to do. I'm gonna do what I got to do, right? Don't worry about that. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, when you're approaching and talking to women, right, you have to make sure that you do not ask them if you can talk to them. You just talk. Because it's these little things, these little, things that you switch up in your game that's going to make the game more beneficial for you. It's kind of like, it's like if you have a basketball player or somebody playing basketball and they're trying to shoot the ball in the hoop and they're missing half the time. And the person says, hey, listen, if you flick your wrist just slightly this way, you'll get more shots in. You feel what I'm saying? So then they adjust their wrist and they, flick it a little bit differently. And then they start getting more shots in. So that little adjustment makes a difference. You understand? So that little adjustment of you when you're talking to girls and you just be like, hey, what's up? What's good? How you doing? You just have that conversation. Or you say, hey, come here, let me talk to you for a second. What's good? Blah, blah, blah. That little adjustment from, doing that instead of, asking her is going to make a difference. All right. So that's pretty much it. Listen, if you guys have any more questions, make sure you click the link below and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.
Now, before you turn off this video, make sure you click the link below to get the Mr. Locario 30-minute game session. Now, this is a private one-on-one coaching session between me and you where we chop up game for a half an hour. So make sure you click that link below to get the Mr. Locario 30-minute game session.
Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 to 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.